Wichita Fire Station number 15, southeast side near Rock and Lincoln, is still closed after the firefighters there got exposed to mold.
We have live team coverage as Cake's Lily O'Brien details the health risks of mold for the firefighters. That's ahead.
But first, Cake's Sydney Ferguson is live outside of that fire station in southeast Wichita, as we also hear from a city council member who wrote about this over the weekend and also what happens next. Sydney.
Yeah, Chris, Deb, yesterday Vice Mayor Dalton Glasscock made a post letting people know that Fire Station 15 here behind me had to be evacuated for the health of the firefighters. Now, some have called this a stunt to push the Wichita sales tax, but not only has this been an issue for some time, a political science professor tells me that political stunts don't really sway voters the way they might have in the past. Monday, Wichita's Fire Station 15 is still closed after the city confirms firefighters were exposed to mold. Vice Mayor and Councilman Dalton Glasscock posted the news on Facebook.
Well, first off, I was horrified, and we had to figure out a solution very quickly. What I heard from whistleblowers is that Fire Station 15 was evacuated, and it was evacuated.
We received tips from firefighters about the mold months ago. At the time, the city said its own study revealed no mold. Since then, Glasscock says mold inspections conducted by the city revealed black mold and other kinds in 20 of 22 stations.
Remediation work began this week, and when firefighters here began to experience complications for that remediation work, we had to evacuate them to other stations.
Firefighters reported burning in their eyes, noses, and mouths, a serious health issue. But with the vote on the 1% citywide sales tax just 15 days away, some opponents say this is just to push support for the sales tax.
When I get calls that firefighters are having medical conditions as a result of mold remediation, I don't care about the political optics of it. We have to be able to address concerns at that point.
At this point, it was bound to become a football.
Dr. Russell Arbin Fox, a Friends University political science professor, says despite the division in the Cake News social media comments, data actually shows political stunts don't sway voters anymore because they only focus on information they agree with.
If you're already in a no vote environment, you're going to look at this and you're going to say, oh, this was a stunt. If you're in a pro sales tax bubble, you're going to look at this and you're going to say, see, I told you so.
Fox says critiques of the sales tax are valid and says sales taxes in general are regressive. But he says not taking stories like what the firefighters are experiencing seriously is a way to avoid having to discuss the issues that brought the sales tax conversation to life in the first place.
The noise about the argument over the story might actually be greater than the noise generated by the story itself. And that's unfortunate because there really are these practical concerns.
Now, Vice Mayor Glasscock says if the vote doesn't pass, the money will have to come from somewhere. But in the meantime, it's important that the firefighters' health be taken seriously. Live in East Wichita, Sydney Ferguson, Cake News on your side.